if we have a breakup like the Beatles, who's the first one to drop?
It would probably be me, and it wouldn't be like I wouldn't deliberately drop. I just wouldn't show up
Because you're
Yeah.
sleeping.
because I'm sleeping. Yes.
All right, that's yours. Okay, Andrew, what do you want to say?
No, I was gonna nominate Hadi.
Why?
Asshole.
I think he's
Same reason?
yep, same reasons. He sometimes he'll go and he'll start another podcast, and then on that podcast, he'll be talking about all the topics that he wanted to talk about here that we all make him cut from the list. So yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna talk about AI today, but he'll just talk about AI every week. I feel like it'll be Gabby, because Gabby will discover how much dumber we are than her, and she'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't. This is not good for my brand." When I run for world leader one day, so I'm gonna start my own thing. So I nominate Gabby. I nominated Andrew as well because like he codes that night, so he'll be coding all night long, and he'll be like, "I can't do podcast anymore. I can get in on an hour of iOS coding." All right, let's hope it doesn't happen. And if it happens, let's hope we're famous, and this podcast is listened by many, and that way, when one of us leaves, um, it's good. It's like people are upset because right now, if one of us leave, no one cares.
No, no.
So let's build up an audience before we disappoint them.
Tube socks, boy, about to pop the lunchbox.
Yeah.
Tube socks, boy, about to pop the lunchbox. Tube socks, boy, about to pop the
Back
lunchbox.
to my roots, beats of the broken hearted. Wake up, alarm is on. It's just getting started for the artist. No trolley, I get
Okay.
it right.
All right. That being said, we're gonna get started today. Thank you for listening to our first two podcasts. If you haven't, go and listen to it. It's the third one. And this podcast is for restaurateurs, by us, all restaurateurs. Now, guys, I didn't tell you guys, but I'm thinking of opening a restaurant in 23. Yeah,
Ooh.
what do you guys think? Yeah, I'm thinking of opening a
What
restaurant.
cuisine?
I have no idea, but I have the logo ready. You guys gonna see it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got
Whoa.
this is the logo.
Oh wow.
What do you
look at
think?
that. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nabil's
So
meals.
open it for 4 hours. Open it for 4 hours, four to eight.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
sick.
good.
What should I sell?
Should they-
Doesn't matter. You're not gonna be able to pay rent of opening 4 hours a day, so you'll be closed pretty soon. You know what? Actually, this is perfect. You're exactly as unreasonable as someone needs to be to open up a restaurant, and exactly inspiring as well. Like you want to feed people 4 hours a day from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's not lunch. It's not dinner. People just gonna hate you, man.
Yeah. You like the logo, guys?
Yeah, gives me
Yeah, I like it.
summer vibes.
It's what? What'd you say?
It gives me
Gabby?
like summer vibes.
Summer vibes. Yeah, it's only open in summer. Also, I forgot to tell you.
Yeah. Too bad you can't eat the logo. It's the best part.
Yeah, I think we should open a restaurant in 23, or I should open a restaurant in 23. I think we'll learn so much more. Don't you guys think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should we,
Absolutely.
like Andrew? I know what Andrew's thinking. Andrew's like, do I eat for free, and is it free all the time, or is it free sometimes? I know it's not only 20, 30, 40% off. It's some form of free, but when is it free? Is it free all the time? I know that's his first question.
I mean, yeah. Ideally, shift the hours to lunch and then make it a sandwich shop, so that way I can go eat sandwiches every day.
Well, maybe bagel. Maybe we do bagel in just
Bagels?
4 hours in the morning. Bagels?
Bagel
What do you guys
pizza.
think? No? Bagel pizza.
I think-
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
What are you from
I-
Manhattan?
I think French fries have been like the side chick to every meal for too long.
Side chick.
Like a side, like the most famous side to
I
every
didn't-
meal. Like
In our bingo, I don't have how to introduce the side chick today. But yet
Oh,
here
God.
you are.
look, French fries have been the side for too long, and I think it's time for them to be made. So, like a French fry concept where you can like sweet green style pick your toppings, and you have pre-built styles. That's
And everything
really good.
else
French
is the
fries have
side,
great margins.
like a version like of poutine or like feta or like meat
Ooh.
or like
There we go.
So it's been done already. Toppings on fries has been done, but fries is centerpiece. I feel like that website could look cool. You just like put graphics
Yeah.
around it. All right,
Yeah,
enough with this topic.
oh man, I would eat it.
Our editors are gonna kill us. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck? It's been 10 minutes. Well, what have they talked about? They've done nothing. Like these four people are supposed to be our leaders of the company. Like, what's going on here? Like, I feel like I could do their job. It has become evidently clear to our wonderful editor, whose name you guys will not know because I know you guys are trying to poach him because he's an incredible designer. How good is our intro video? Man, he makes us look so much better than we are.
Really good. Yeah,
His
it looks
name,
great.
we're just gonna call him Pancho. That's his code name, Pancho.
Pancho.
Yeah,
I feel like Pancho is
Pancho.
his actual name, and this is like one of those things that stare you in the face. You know, one
It's
of
from
those
Don
mysteries.
Quixote.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, episode number 3. We're going to get started with the first topic. Gabby will take us off. Gabby, why don't you go get us started on the interest rate hike?
Yeah, so a little bit, you guys will always hear me talking about interest rates, specifically throughout this time, just because of how we've seen it change over the course of, 6 months. And you guys will always hear me talking about the M&A market. So they have to do with one another. So you guys have probably heard that 2 days ago, the Fed raised interest rates yet again, half a point, to almost the highest level in 15 years. So what does that mean? So you guys probably heard me talk in previous episodes about the M&A environment for just tech companies, right? For just companies like Lunchbox, and where we see that going. But what about restaurants? What about franchisees? So because the interest rates have, risen again, franchisees are going to have a tough time getting loans, right? Because loans have become more expensive. And companies are eager right now to expand through franchising, but they're going to have a tougher time, right? Because they're not able to accomplish their goals the same way that they were before, which means that they might have to force to an exit. So given this situation, I think in the beginning of 2023, maybe like Q1, Q2, we're going to start seeing, restaurants and specifically franchisees looking to sell their business, just given the market. So kind of just wanted to hear from everyone what their thoughts were there and where we kind of see, maybe the next company that's looking to have franchisees, what is their exit plan and where do we see that going?
I mean, why would they? Why would franchisees want to sell their franchise? I mean, why would they want to do that?
So because it's becoming harder to get loans, right? So that that correlates to actually being able to, open up restaurants because nobody's doing it for, you know, all of their cash, right? With all their cash.
Of course. Um, unless you're Nabil's Meals, I guess. Um, then you are 4 hours, crazy, 4 hours a day. That's insane. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think buying has become a lot more expensive for a lot of these franchisees, right? So I don't know, and I'm always intrigued by the exit strategy conversation because to me, if you run a good restaurant that runs itself, I mean, don't you just want to keep it, right? Especially if it's a franchise. It also depends on what franchise too. I mean, it's such a hard question.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess a follow-up question to that is like we've seen restaurant, M&A or restaurant partnership happen so much throughout the course of maybe like 2 years ago. So where do you guys kind of see the next, big brands kind of partner up with each other? Maybe do you guys foresee some brands buying other maybe small concepts over the next quarters?
Yeah, it's certainly a more interesting conversation, right? Because of how much liquidity some uh, brand groups have compared to some of their smaller counterparts. So there definitely could be. I mean, look, Yum bought Habit Burger not too long ago, right? And I'll talk about that in my section. But the idea there was like, they've got one of each. They've got fried chicken. They've got Taco Bell, which is famous amongst Gen Z. Um, and this is their fourth brand, which is a burger brand. So I guess it just really depends what groups are out there, like an RBI or something that are looking for their next brand. But not everyone's going to get a golden parachute. I mean, there's not that many people acquiring. So it'll definitely be interesting. Whoever does get acquired will be extremely lucky. And the ones that are left behind, not necessarily they'll do bad. I just think it'll take some time and, The good news is that consumer price index is up 7% apparently year over year. So maybe the sales will carry them over. I don't know. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping the sales carry the restaurants through this, but that's being optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, if what we're talking about does, like you're saying, does happen, like, whether it be franchises or brands look to go and have an exit the next year, I think there's a lot of really interest. It's an interesting environment, one just because of the technology that's out there right now, and within some of these smaller groups, maybe that would be exiting or whatever it might be, they might not have that technology foothold in there, and so these larger brands might go and acquire these other brands and try to like accelerate them. One with their with the tech that they have, but two with also with the resources that they have. And so I think that maybe you could I'd like to see how this influences either on like a regional scale, like in certain areas, certain regional brands getting acquired, versus also just versus just at a national scale. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, Gabby, people just might end up getting smarter about it too. I was talking to California Grill yesterday. They're like West Coast based company, and they're doing what I would recommend a lot of chains to do, which is they're working with cloud kitchens, right? And they're working to open up ghost concepts for their main brand in certain areas, testing out the waters, the best brands, and then going into the brick and mortar mode. And at that time, whenever they bring out a franchisee, they can point to sales and say, hey, this is what I have. That's why they're also looking at a first party ordering system, because they're like, we want to know who the customer is. So maybe people just get smarter about expansion too. Like they get really deliberate about it, opening up a ghost kitchen, testing things out, and then you put the money in, and maybe you can, you're the banker here, so you tell me. Maybe I'll get better terms on my store if I actually know what's going to sell, or I can prove it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that is definitely kind of an area that restaurants can explore, just given the situation. And like it's a lot easier to kind of have those concepts than if you have like a full-on brick and mortar, restaurant going.
Nabil, so if you open Nabil's Meals, how are you attracting your first franchisee?
That's a great question. Maybe it's a joke question,
No,
but
it's
I'll
not.
answer it genuinely. I'll answer it genuinely. I think okay. Let me actually play this out live, okay? And mind you, I'm 70% capacity. If I'm opening a restaurant and I'm trying to attract people around the neighborhood, uh, give me a neighborhood. Give me an example. So let's play it out, so I can play it out.
Astoria, Queens.
If I was opening a restaurant in Astoria, Queens, the first thing I'd do is I would partner up with all the restaurants near me in the same block. Hopefully they're not competitive. Let's say I'm selling Arab food, right? Nabil's Meals, I'm selling like shawarmas, Arabic food. Everyone around me, I would like to see what I can source from them. If I can source dessert from someone near me, I would say, hey, let's source dessert from you. People love to go ahead and help the community out, instead of sourcing it from, like, let's say US Foods, from a dessert person that I don't know. I'll source it from nearby. Uh, I'll go to the local schools. I'll invite them first for friends and family, right? If they need something, like they always need donations, maybe they need something for a trip or something else, I'll sponsor that. In exchange, I'd love for the schools to come by. So do more community activation. I'll do that. Third, I'll make sure digitally really we're standing out. Obviously, that's my whole thing, which is make sure, great marketing. So everyone, however everyone's zigging will zag, right? If everyone are in the neighborhood is like, everyone in the neighborhood, like in Santa Monica, everyone loves to have it all locally sourced. I would say I'm not from California. We don't have any item from California here. We source nothing from California, nothing from Santa Monica. We only source out of state because we fucking hate it here. Like, I would do the opposite and to go ahead and digitally get attention. So in Astoria, how could I do the opposite? I don't know. I don't have that right now. But I would definitely go ahead and zag while everyone is zigging. Those are the three things I would do in my limited capacity at my fake restaurant to get audience. And I would invite like local micro influencers. like not real influencers because I don't give a fuck about them, like micro influencers. Like, oh, Andrew is a big part of the community. He's an entrepreneur. You know, Gabby is a foodie and she, loves restaurants and she has a small microblog for them. Hadi uh, plays video games in the area and everyone knows that, so invite him so he can tell his dweeb nerd friends to come eat as well, right? Like the people that fill the community, invite them to fill the restaurant.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, that sounds mean
Which part?
when you say it as
Which
if
part?
the nerds don't spend money.
Dude, I've never played video games. I've never had time to play video games. I don't know how you people play video games.
That's just not true. That's just a lie.
Nabila, you never
That's a
played
lie.
video games?
You used to
Why?
play RuneScape.
I
He's a
never play
liar.
video
He's lying.
games.
He's,
What
he's
is this?
grandstanding. This is the person that he created. Like he never played RuneScape before.
Oh, RuneScape. Yeah, I did play RuneScape. But it was not a video game. It was a computer game. It was a strategy game where you could be an entrepreneur, and I was an entrepreneur, and I had a business. I had a steel business. I had the best steel business that I have seen on RuneScape, and let me tell you how impressive it was. Before I knew Hadi's brother was working for me in my steel company in RuneScape. So I was an entrepreneur. I was just doing entrepreneur stuff. I was making money, and Hadi's brother and I had a fallout. He's a contractor. I don't understand why he took it so personally. We had a fallout, and we've not talked since. All right, next topic. ChowNow had a layoff 2 days ago. Gabby, why don't you start with that?
Yeah, so it's interesting that they're doing a second one, right? So they did one in July, I believe, and so saw it on the news yesterday. Was a little surprised that they're doing it around this time, because companies generally don't want to do it, close to the holidays. So couple thoughts. They're either, extremely, behind with the wave that we've seen already with tech companies doing layoffs, and just curious as to why they've decided to do it at this time. They blamed it on, just like lack of delivery momentum that they were seeing before. So just curious to see, what you guys think about that.
I mean, I don't know if it's just the slowness of the delivery business or if it's the market getting extremely competitive. As someone that's out there on the front lines every day, I'll tell you the total market of the restaurant industry has shrunk, right, over the last couple of years, and the amount of people that offer online ordering has grown. Only way you're going to be competitive is if you offer quite a few services under one and allow restaurants to consolidate and get rid of other players in the space. And the part about ChowNow is they're a great first-party ordering platform, but that's all they are right now, right? They focus on SMBs, and the SMBs now have point-of-sale companies like Square, like Toast, that hey, if you're an SMB, you want to start off with online ordering, I can give you online ordering. You want a basic one, right? Here you go. And that's what ChowNow was known for at the beginning. And this is one of those things where you do something long enough and you don't pivot, it catches up to you. And ChowNow is not the only company that this is happening to. It's happening to a lot more people. We're just not hearing about it. And we're going to see a lot more of this. I think this is just the beginning. I think we're nowhere near the end. We're going to see a lot of companies, even Shutter, that were doing online ordering, like regular names in the restaurant industry. And we're going to be left with a couple of few. The good news is that restaurants have a lot of choices right now. The bad news is they're going to have fewer choices later.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean,
Andrew, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'm saying overall we're seeing just like tech right sizing against you read articles about this every day about companies, Facebook, whoever it might be, right, overhiring during the pandemic, and then now they trim back during this time, and so I think that there's parts of it parts of it that's probably it's like again adjusting towards different types of the market conditions, etc. It's interesting to continue to watch this unfold, but also I think that we're not seeing like the effects of any of this stuff right now. We're just seeing like the initial signs, and then kind of Q1, Q2 we'll see the real start to effects here, whether it be like a domino, whether it be whatever it might be.
I mean, I feel for them.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
easy. It's not easy for the people getting laid off. It's not easy for the people that are doing it. Obviously, the ones that are getting laid off are more affected. But what I would hate to happen from this, which is what happened to the restaurants when COVID happened, which is they walked away from this and like we're not touching food tech. You know, I would hate for talent to not want to come work here because they're like, hey, food tech companies are, you know, they
It's
can
not
be
food tech.
challenged
It's
just as
everywhere.
much.
Yeah.
It's not food tech.
It's
It's
just
everywhere.
tech. Yeah.
Right?
It is yeah, but the thing is, CVS closed a couple of pharmacies, so did Walgreens, right? But other industries you don't hear about as much. For some reason, restaurants are so. Whenever you hear about restaurants, you're so exasperated.
Because we're in this industry. It's like you buy a car and then you start seeing it everywhere, right? Whatever that effect is called. This is
Yeah,
my thoughts on this, which is we have uh, the first thing I'll say is we have better competitive product. So come join Lunchbox if you're an employee or if you're a customer. That's the first thing I'll say, because why would I not say that? My job is to be the CEO of this company, not CEO of other companies, right? So come join Lunchbox. Come join our system. It is prettier, better. It makes you more money. It is, it is in every way and shape better. That's what I'll say. And then I want to say a couple of things because I know I was looking at our views. Not only restaurateurs listen to this, but a lot of food tech employees listen to us as well. So I wanted to say some things to them because I've been laid off myself. I've had my parents get laid off. So I wanted to say a couple of things to them because I think they're being raised by animals right now. I think the next generation is being raised by animals. They're being raised by TikTok. They're being raised by their peers that are same age. And you're not supposed to be raised by people that are your age. You're supposed to hang out with them, have a laugh with them, share some traits, maybe some advice. But you're not supposed to go ahead and raise each other. All right? It's moronic. My fucking doctor is a doctor. I don't go to my friend to go ahead and say, hey, why am I sick? I go to a doctor who usually is older, wiser, and studied it. So I want to say a couple of things to the folks who have been laid off because I know how incredibly hard it is, and I don't think it's going to stop. I think we're going to see a lot more layoffs in Q1 and Q2. The reason I think we'll see a lot more is because what Elon Musk, what Elon Musk has done is uh, he's been so ridiculous. Other CEOs are like, all right, we're not going to be as ridiculous, but we're going to do the things that the businesses need because the bar is now high up here. You can lay off half your company on day one and nothing will happen to you. We don't want to do that, but we want to go ahead and do the things we didn't have the courage to do or didn't have the coverage, the umbrella coverage to do. But because we cannot afford, uh, all the folks we've hired, right? So because of that, here's my couple of things I've written for the employees who are in the space because I'm seeing them all repeat the same mistakes. So here's my feedback for them. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit of a monologue, folks, but I think they need to hear it. I think some of them need to hear it. Some of them may not want to hear. Number one is if you need to log off, log off. There's no reason to be on social media the week or two after this awful thing has happened to you. That's the first thing. I think there's a lot of noise, and I think it's better for you to come back when things cool off. If able, lean in a week or two. The reason you should lean in is because LinkedIn is a great community, and these places are a great community to share that you've been laid off, you've been impacted, and you're looking. And this is what you can bring to the marketplace, right? Number three, be positive. Bashing your previous company is like I look at we look at everyone we hire. We look at what kind of employees they are on social. If they are like, the man is evil, my last company was terrible, we don't hire them not because they might not they might be right or wrong, but we don't hire them because we don't know if they're right or wrong, and we don't want to take those chances, right? And number four, go above and beyond. If you're going into the job market, you'll hear a lot of feedback from folks that say, do not do free work or do not do any of that. That's all bullshit. If you love a job, do the work. I'll just give you a small example. Gabby here was doing M&A, leading M&A. Before she had that title, before she had that raise, she was just someone who we were like, hey, you've done M&A in the past. Can you help us with this M&A? She did a massive M&A, and we're like, what else can we do? How can we keep you? Right? You're supposed to prove yourself and then you make demands. Now, she's smart. She didn't make any demands, but we're not dumb. So went ahead and said, how do we retain her, right? You're supposed to go above and beyond during the recruiting process. And I think the last thing I'll leave it with is know you'll be okay, right? You've had hard things before. If you've been impacted, you've had hard things happen to you before, you'll be okay, right? Like we've lost our jobs. We all lost our jobs when we had a layoff, when we had a failed startup. Andrew, how's that for you?
Yeah, no, not great. Yeah, in the moment you kind of think that like, oh man, that's it. I'm not gonna be able to find another thing, but eventually you figure it out. Like there's yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're here, and I think we're here because of what happened. We couldn't have avoided what happened to be here, right? I think we had to go through what happened to us to be here. So those are my quick advices to the folks that have been impacted, uh, and I think we need to have the harder conversation. Uh, my condolences and prayers are not going to do anything, and neither is hating, being hateful. Let's go and be positive. You'll be fine. Uh, Sorry, this industry sucks. Unfortunately, this is a startup world. You'll be fine. All right, that's my quick thoughts on the ChowNow reduction. Does anyone else want to add anything? Okay. All right. Uh, Third topic we have is Yum Brands digital growth. Hadi, take it away, sir.
Who here has you've all eaten at Taco Bell, right? Right. Have you guys ever had their nacho fries?
Yes.
Nacho fries? No.
Andrew's like,
Yes.
Taco Bell. So they're considering. I think the highlight for me in this is not to bring it back to French fries and why they're really important. They Yum Brands is actually they reported a pretty big growth. Like they reported like a 7-8% growth in sales across their entire like digital portfolio. And I think it's super interesting because they are just so targeted with incrementality across whether it's Pizza Hut, right, where they're trying to make the brand look younger by rebranding it a little bit, Nabil. And then, for KFC, Andrew, I know you love fried chicken, 40% of their sales are through a kiosk now, right? Not to go back to our kiosk conversation from a couple of weeks ago. But they're doing it too. And then Taco Bell specifically, the Taco Bell CEO specifically pointed to McDonald's and said, there's less reasons for people to come to us than McDonald's. Right? So they've always been in and out of breakfast, right? They always do like some breakfast promotion here and there, really big marketing campaign. Sometimes they get influencers, sometimes it's something ridiculous, but it's never been around forever. And now they're going to start keeping both French fries, which they're hoping will increase lunch sales, and lean into the breakfast program to better compete with McDonald's, which is super, super interesting. And since we talked about Habit Burger earlier, Gabby. So Habit Burger has grown 20%, over 20% actually, since they got acquired by Yum Brands in 2020. And the theme is digital. They want all sales to be digital across the board. They have an innovation team. They're doing things like, automating drive-through with conversational AI, which we'll get into later too. But it's super interesting how they're trying to add like desserts and different things across each single brand. I guess what do you guys think that things that Yum Brands has done really well from an incrementality standpoint that any restaurant could learn from and try to adopt and hopefully experience the same growth in unit count and sales?
I think God is in the detail, and I think so is Yum Brand, right? They're in the detail. They're experimenting. They're iterating. I think it seems very startup-y in a way, right? And so what I would say is, and let me give you an example from Bear Burger, my time at Bear Burger. We had our second location near NYU. That location was struggling. Uh, that location was really, really struggling, and we couldn't figure out why. And then our CEO decided to go ahead and change the awning, and in the awning say burger, fries, and shakes. He just said in the awning again and again, burger, fries, shakes, burger, fries, shakes. He saw sales go up like 40%, I believe. 40% overnight. So I think the small changes and iterations you can make to go ahead and improve a brand is huge. I think when you're that big, it's hard to do it. And I think big or small, you have to be iterative. and you have to go ahead and be entrepreneurial, and you have to make changes. And it seems like a lot of the changes they've made is it's working, and it seems like it just seems like they're looking at the numbers in great detail, and they're iterating based on that.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I mean, they're adding chicken nuggets at KFC for the first time.
I think
Chicken nuggets.
a lot of these restaurants, especially when you think about like Taco Bell, like the nacho fries, like it was all. I feel like a lot of it is maybe here's like kind of a theory here is that like maybe potato using that on the menu, using that in more menu items, like adding that as an ingredient, maybe it could be more cost efficient. So they need like but like potato, they removed potato from the menu. Like to get it back on the menu, they need some sort of mechanism to go and drive demand, like for potatoes, for it to be reasonable to have it as, because again, they are being and Taco Bell very strict on how many items they have. So use nacho fries as kind of like the catalyst to get demand at Taco Bell up for potato, and then now potato, like it's now back on the menu and it's in different menu items and all that kind of stuff. And so I think similarly, if we're thinking about, let's say Taco Bell is saying that they're going, like trying to drive more into breakfast, and just want to note also in the industry, like 30 like in the first half of last year, and we'll see what the second half of first half of this year, you'll see what happens in the second half of this year. But in the first half, commuting was up 30%, but actually over the course of this year, like breakfast sales have been down. And so people are saying like, well, people are traveling more into work, but they're not ordering breakfast again. Like what's happening? What's disconnecting here? And so I think a lot of restaurants are going and looking, and we're going to, if Taco Bell is saying that, I'm interested to see, all right, what marketing do they activate? What technology do they activate? What menu choices do they make to go and capture on that? Because if people are coming back but they're not ordering through the stores, either habit has changed or guests need re-engagement. You need to go and find out what's the latest, what's the trend that people are going towards. So yeah, it's really interesting to hear that.
One of the things that I was just thinking about is like it's so interesting how, especially a company like Yum Brands, they have locations everywhere, right? Like they're literally across the country. So when you have data like that, when you have the opportunity to analyze all different types of data across all different brands, you start being able to put the pieces together in a way that maybe other brands won't be able to, right? So I think that's also, they have that to their advantage, and they're able to take all of that experience and all that data to make really, really insightful and strategic decisions. So we can kind of see how maybe they might be in the lead as opposed to other companies in the space.
So Nabil, add French fries to your menu. It'll help with sales. And open up earlier so
Don't
you
worry
can do
about my
breakfast.
menu, and don't worry about my menu. All right, the dishwasher has no right to tell me what will be served on my menu.
Dishwasher.
The
You
dishwasher
know what
at
you do?
best.
You use reusable plates
I wouldn't
that you
even
can
let you be a
recycle.
dishwasher at my restaurant. I wouldn't even.
Oh,
I'd
that's
rather
good.
carry no dishes.
That's good. That
All
feels
right.
good. Yeah, actually, a local there's a place called Oceanic Boil. It's a Cajun seafood place near my house, and it's in Forest Hills, Queens. And they give paper plates and plastic cups for everything. Like it's there's no like actual. And when I asked the manager, I'm like, hey, why do you guys do this? Like, oh, it saves us money running the dishwasher, which costs a lot of money.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
very interesting.
Okay. Alrighty. All right, guys. I haven't told you what we're going to do today, but we're New Yorkers, right? We're proud New Yorkers, all four of us here. Who's the best New Yorker here between the four of us? I don't want to make it a competition, but who's like the most New Yorker here?
Well, definitely not you because you left.
Oh!
I feel like that's unfair.
Ooh! Ooh!
Yeah.
I feel like that's unfair. I feel like that's unfair. I feel like that's rude. That's rude. First of all,
And it was.
as my chief of staff, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. All right, you've picked up some other job in our customer team. I've not complained once. I'm falling apart literally, like sick, and now you're attacking me. It'd be your own. It'd be your
Well, yeah,
own.
it's like
Sometimes.
well, then also Gabby, like you're also in Long Island, so Heidi and I are the only ones still in the city. So
I know.
Yeah, you
that
guys
out
are in
there.
this. You guys are in the city. You guys are in the city. Cool. All right. I feel like we all are great, wonderful New Yorkers. So I feel like we shouldn't fight about this. Definitely shouldn't call me out as the worst of the four. Gabby. All right. With that being said, Lunchbox has published the top 20 New York City restaurant with online ordering, 2022. All right. We're going to go over it. We're going to go over some of our favorite menu items as a group and highlight these incredible restaurants. I hope we all have wonderful ideas from each of them, but let's go through it. All right, we're gonna go over our favorite menu items and pizza. First,
Yeah,
The hot honey pizza.
hot honey.
Easy.
Hot honey. And we got anything?
Yep, I agree.
Must get the hot honey from and pizza. 16 handles.
Ooh.
Get the
Ooh,
Yeah,
salty
salted
stuff.
caramel.
Salted caramel.
Salted caramel. Okay, all right. Seems like Hadi and Gabby have already synced up before this. Andrew, you?
The
Nothing?
way I do 16 handles is I make a pick on the ice cream. I try to the frozen yogurt, and then I go and
Okay.
I'm hitting each topping every like I'm loading up. So I think you can't even see the ice cream anymore.
Okay. You single-handedly are costing them overheads. All right, Bear Burger. What are we doing on Bear
Big blue,
Burger?
big blue bison, side of fries, chipotle mayo,
Yeah.
root beer.
If you can go to
Wow.
one of their
Wow.
locations that has the ostrich burger, it's
Ooh,
limited
yes.
in there. 100%. It's the best of beef and turkey like combined is ostrich.
Peanut butter chocolate for me. Peanut butter chocolate shake. Love it. Gabby, anything from you?
So I had their fries recently and they were so good with like
Cool,
A
aioli.
lot of fry talk today.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fry talk. Black tap.
Ooh,
I love
their
black
red velvet
it's
shake.
it's the shakes.
Yeah.
shakes. Yes,
The
must get the
shakes, yeah.
shakes. Any crazy shakes. Any crazy shakes. Kava. I love kava.
Spicy chicken wrap.
A wrap. You get a
Yeah.
wrap
Cool,
there?
cool.
The spicy lamb
Get a bowl
meatball.
of sesame and give it to Randall.
Yeah.
What else?
Cause an allergy attack.
Awesome. Emmy squared. One of our customers. Another one.
All right, I'm gonna be really basic here. Their pepperoni pizza, like the one that they have in this picture, is
It's amazing.
actually really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Yeah, I like their vodka.
Right. Fuku.
The Oh,
You like
coming
their
out.
vodka?
The vodka pie, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, that pie's really good.
Vodka pie. Yeah. Amazing. Fuku. I love Fuku. They're right by our office too, by the way, in Rockefeller Center. They have a location there. Whatever is their spicy sandwich, it's
Yeah.
spicy. And
They
I'm
got-
Indian.
yeah, the
It's
new one.
spicy.
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
one is
I love it.
hot.
I love it.
Yeah,
Hot.
plan your day.
Anyone else?
This is Korean. I think I forget what it's like. Korean spicy or Korean spice. I
usually-
forget what the name is.
I get
but
the
that's my favorite one.
also get the lemonade too.
Lemonade. I love Inde. I love Inde. Inde is absolutely incredible. Inde is the sweet green of Indian restaurant for me. It's just like I can make anything up. It'll be a great meal. It'll be healthy. I'll not feel heavy. I love everything Inde.
Ooh,
Insomnia
s'more cookie.
cookies.
Yeah,
You know, I remember in college when I used to get high, I used to order cookies and then get high. So like order cookies because you can't remember to order after you get high. So order cookies, get high, cookies show up. You know, it's heaven. No, just me. No one else.
yeah. No. To go back to like India really quickly, it's the falafel chop. That's my favorite. And after that, I would probably have just a regular chocolate chip with milk. Shout out David Salama for building an incredible app. Their experience is amazing.
Stop name dropping. We all know them. Maman.
Ooh, their latte's so good.
Maman. Yeah, lattes good.
Yeah,
I never tried.
Coffee.
yeah, probably the coffee. Yeah,
Ooh, amazing. Milk bar.
Ooh, that
ice cream,
like cereal milk
the ice
thing.
cream, the
What's that?
cornflake ice cream.
It's
You know,
mainly the cake.
Taylor
It's the-
Swift. I love the cake. I love the birthday cake. I love the
Birthday
corn,
cake,
the cereal, cereal
truffle?
dessert they have.
the truffles, cake truffles
I
too.
think so. They have a great store next to our old office in Nomad. Sorry, great restaurant. Amazing. Mighty Quinn's Barbecue. I love their wings. Love
Ribs.
their wings.
Mhm.
Ribs are great.
Ribs.
Yes.
Yeah, Yeah,
I go to there
Burnt
every
ends.
celebration.
Oh,
yeah,
burnt
I was gonna.
ends. Their
That's
burnt ends
literally
are
what's in
really
there. The
good.
burnt end sandwich is really good. Get some of the brisket. I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
they just opened up one in Forest Hills
Sandwich.
right by me.
No,
Oh yeah.
you gotta have the burnt ends by themselves.
Oh,
Oh,
why
yeah.
not both?
Naya.
Ooh, the bowls
Naya. I just had Naya last
and the
week.
pita.
Shawarma. Yeah,
Yep.
I love their shawarma. I love this. I
Yeah.
love whatever this thing is. What is this
Onions,
pink
though.
thing?
It's pickled red onion, I think.
Whatever it is, I love it. I love it. I think they're great. If I open a restaurant, the Bill's Meals, I'll just copy them. They'll be my like day one. Like copy them first, and then like iterate after that. Sorry, Naya. All right,
Ooh, the
Serafina.
vodka.
Uh,
Penne alla vodka.
e- everything. Honestly, the meatball is great. You guys want to go to Serafina?
Yeah,
No,
we all went as a team.
What was it? I think it was
Oh, we went as a team.
the
Yeah,
fish.
when the engineers came.
The branzino. Yeah, that's pretty good.
The
That was great.
branzino.
Sophie's Cuban.
The fish that we had.
I
what was
love
it?
Sophie's Cuban. They have this green sauce.
Oh yeah.
Better than crack. I have never had crack, but this is better. It's amazing.
I like their empanadas.
They are one of my favorite people. Like they're just such nice people. George on their team, awesome human. Spring bone. I'm sick, guys. This is perfect for me right now. Bone broth. I love spring bone.
They also sell like their hot sauce too, like their sauce. You can go and get it. It's really good. I have a bottle of it in my cupboard.
I saw their video on how they make it. This is hard work. This is like a lot of work to make it. It's not like put a bunch of stuff in a hot water. It is a lot of hot work. Ooh, everyone's
Ooh.
favorite, Sticky's finger
Stickies,
joint.
yeah.
Thai fiesta.
Go ahead.
Thai chili, Thai fiesta,
We're gonna be here for a while.
Cajun fries.
Get the sticky
medium
sauce.
poppers.
Nashville
Yeah.
Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Waffle fries.
Oh, the chicken and
I think I'm
waffles.
gonna have it
It's the
today.
chicken and
gonna-
waffles. It's like the best.
Oh, have you
Oh,
guys
the
had their
chicken
s'mores
waffles,
fries?
So good.
They're
Mhm.
so good.
Yeah.
No.
S'mores fries.
They have s'mores
No,
fries.
dude,
What's
take
up with
this.
fries? I've heard fries so much.
Use the s'more sauce for the chicken too. Oh, so good.
We don't have any favorites, but we spend a little bit longer here at Sticky's. Sweet Green,
They have a really good chicken
not
salad.
our customer,
Uh,
but they have to be soon.
Chicken pesto. The chicken pesto part.
I love everything.
Yeah.
My partner loves Sweet Green, so she always orders it. They're amazing. Takumbi.
Ooh, their fish tacos are good.
Okay, so
Love
the
Takumbi.
Yeah.
the Nortena quesadilla,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
al
all the
pastor
quesadillas.
burrito, and then the pina colada with it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
apparently, so Joanne from Tacombe taught me that you can combine the pina
Who's
colada.
Joanne? You
with,
can't be name
their
dropping.
other
Who
red-
is she? You have to tell the audience.
Oh, she leads marketing there.
She leads
Brand
their
development,
amazing
yeah.
marketing there. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, what else? Gabby, we didn't hear from you.
No,
You
I
don't
said
like
no.
Takumi?
I said
It's our
fish.
client. It's our paid client. You don't like Takumi?
I said fish tacos.
Oh, you said fish. You said fish taco. Okay. All right. Zaro's Family Bakery.
They have good bagels.
Gotta get the.
Every time I go to LaGuardia, I get Zaros.
Yes, I
Every
love the
time.
LaGuardia location. That saves me every time. What else do we have? Oh, we have some neighboring restaurants. I'll go over one of them. Honorary mention. They're not in New York. They're in New Jersey. Alfalfa. Have you guys tried Alfalfa?
No, actually.
I've not tried the.
Not
All right,
yet.
we gotta go. We gotta go to Alfalfa and Bone Broth, Spring Bones, Bone Broth as our next trip. Try it as a group. But that was our game for the week. Go over the 20 top restaurants in New York. As New Yorkers, I feel like we've eaten at all of them, except one or two, which we'll fix immediately. Expensive, right? Those are good ways to not pay for that. Yeah. All right, next topic. Chat GPT. Andrew N. How do you want to talk about it?
ChatGPT, it's a state-of-the-art language model. It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. It's a type of machine learning model. And for those of you who don't know machine learning, Google it. And it uses some deep learning algorithms to kind of generate human-like text. So the idea is that it's a conversational chat, right? So it's not like you can show it something, you can't video chat with it, but if you write to it like a chatbot, it will do exactly what you need it to, which is answer questions in several different types of contexts. Like you can ask it to rewrite an email, you can ask it to read through a legal contract and give you a summary in simple languages. Sure, we've all been there, except for Gabby, because she actually understands that language better for some reason. I don't know. And achieved an average score of 82.2, which is the highest score. It's called like that was on the glue benchmark, and then on the squad. These are all benchmarks, just like you have car benchmarks and car, benchmarking authorities. These models have the same thing. And GPT-3, which is the exact model that they benchmark, scored 93.2. It's demonstrative, like a really good performance rate. So first you have to log in. So you can ask it, let's see.
How do I start a restaurant?
How do I start a restaurant?
Start a restaurant. Can I be more specific with that question?
Yes. How do I start a restaurant in New York City?
Tell me from the point of view of someone from New York. Can I say that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's processing. Now, while this processes the response for you to be able, I do want to say my entire monologue was written by ChatGPT. So I had it write a monologue about itself that I could explain on a podcast.
Oh, look at this. All right.
Challenging but rewarding.
I'm curious to hear what
Oh, this is super detailed.
I'm curious to hear what you guys think. So, one of the things that I like about Google is the different sources and options that they give me. What do you guys think about this? Like, do you feel limited when you're looking at this, or do you feel like, okay, this is everything that I need?
Well,
you have to be really specific in your queries. Like when you ask it questions, be as specific as possible, and it could be better than Google because it might give you the answer you're looking for rather than you having to search through things.
So this is like the base level, right? This is ChatGPT. This is what you're getting from OpenAI here. But I think what's really exciting, and you could see on your screen here, right? And it has write me a poem. It has a lot of the context from here. But like, what's exciting about it is what's possible going forward. So we're already seeing a lot of different. Read an article about how one company is using it to negotiate phone bills. So like it'll go and start a chat with like one of the phone companies, and we'll go and negotiate. It's been able to successfully negotiate like $120 off a year off phone bills. I'm seeing doctors using it to.
Wait, hold on. Is anybody else shocked right now? Like,
oh my God, Andrew! This is it's spinning rhymes.
No way.
It's spinning rhymes.
Guys, this is so incredible.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, to Andrew's point, people are like building like Andrew. What was it? Spectrum? You said of like someone that's trying
Comcast,
to like.
I think, yeah. One of those.
Comcast, not Comcast. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You can go. You can interface with this all day. It is just so.
Wow.
It just gets you quicker wherever you need to go.
I love this.
This is great.
I mean, Andrew, if I'm a restaurateur,
do we have any copywriters? Do we have any copywriters in the company? Fire them all. Oh wow, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
It has an attitude problem.
God. I love this.
Jump through a million.
Easy peasy, right?
Wow. Good luck with all that. So,
all right, guys, what's the use case for this for restaurateurs? Why should I care if I'm a restaurateur?
yeah, so I think what's really interesting, though, so like we mentioned, is helping negotiate phone bills. It's helping to negotiate with insurance companies. But I think about how this influences restaurants. Like imagine applications where ChatGPT could negotiate supply chain costs for you, could handle customer service, like general customer service for you as well too, like for your guests. Also like as a learning resource, like when we just asked it to 3 different ways of how to start a restaurant, and like what happens with ChatGPT, what you're seeing here is just kind of like the base level of everything like that, but you can actually build applications on top of it and feed it information, feed it data. You can feed it all of your guest reviews, and it can have like an understanding of like what the biggest problems a guest might be having are. You could feed it your entire menu, and it can go and anyone can ask it a question about the menu, like, oh, what ingredients are in this food item, or like, oh, which of them are best for vegans or something like that, right? And it'll be able to go and provide recommendations to those guests. So yeah, I think there's a lot of really exciting opportunities to build on top of this for restaurants.
I would use it for copy. Like if I were you in a past life, I would use this for copy 100%.
I think
Gabby,
Yeah, no,
go
I
ahead.
was gonna say like every person also has like their own personality. So if you are talking to just a regular kind of computer that has just like your standard, lines for each item that you're trying to speak about, you won't have that personal touch. So like Nabil, he asked for something sarcastic that's more in line with his personality. And so what I think would be really interesting is if you could kind of just aggregate maybe several different personalities to kind of fit with the customer. So that, maybe the next time he orders food, they're going to be like, oh, you want, extra sauce with that? And just like be extremely sarcastic about it to piss Nabil off. That might be interesting.
I think when you have folks that are a little bit known, like Quentin Tarantino, you can ask it to write a script in a Quentin Tarantino style, right? So imagine it gets a little bit smarter and it can read all our tweets. Like imagine reading Andrew's tweets. You will never be confused about what he wants to eat. He wants to eat Taco Bell, right? 3 times a day. So I think if it can get connected to, if it can start learning um, things we've written about, posted about, said, it can like almost like going to a great restaurant. If you go to a great Michelin star restaurant or two, they know who you are. They're like, "Oh, Gabby, thank you for coming back. I know you joined us last year. Remember, you have this allergy. Remember, you loved the soup. We don't have that. We have something similar, and we've prepared for you. Really excited that you came here on your birthday." Like they Google you, they try to figure out where you work. They learn everything about you. That's what happens when you go to a great restaurant, right? So now you can have that with this.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting, even just to find also, like, let's say you're a brand and you're trying to find influencers or like people, like you can feed it a bunch of like that content from social media, and then you can feed it your menu, and it'd be like, oh, well, if I'm going to be launching a new breakfast taco, like who out there talks about breakfast and taco all the time, and it can go and it'll recommend you like, oh, who do I want to talk to for this, and I'll say like, oh, you should reach out to this person first. Here's the campaigns that you should run. You can ask it, write the commercial for me. And it'll tell you. I wonder if you could probably feed it a lot of marketing campaigns as well too, and be like, I want to
Yeah.
launch a new campaign for November.
Hey, Hadi or Andrew, one of you, read this poem for me.
All right. Starting a restaurant in the city is no easy feat, oh so pretty. With hard work and determination, success can be yours, a real sensation. First, decide on your concept and menu, consider the location you target the competition to. Choose a space that's easily accessible with parking or public transportation, oh so flexible. Obtain the necessary license and permits to operate your restaurants, no need to be a misfit. Create a business plan, a detailed document to guide your goals, strategies, and operational side. Secure the financing to cover the startup costs. Loans, grants, or investments never get lost. Hire staff and set up your restaurant space, equipment, supplies, layout, decor, all in place. Promote your restaurant to attract customers galore. A website, social media, market plan, never a bore. Starting a restaurant takes time and effort, no doubt, but with hard work and dedication, success is what it's about.
Wow, wow, look
Dang.
at that. Wow. I can't believe a robot wrote this. All right, guys, we're all out of a job, so let's all get better. Let's all make sure Lunchbox works before they start a company. Imagine they start a company, they could run it perfectly, hire perfectly, make all the perfect decisions.
Well, yeah.
Ah, that'd be so nice.
Why learn stock trading when you can have ChatGPT trade it for you?
I think that's this week's pod. Cool.
Woo.
All right, what are you guys doing this weekend? Let's end with that. Gabby, when are you leaving for your trip
Sunday
to Aruba?
morning. Yeah, in the
Sunday?
morning.
Okay, all right. Excited for you. Andrew, what are you doing this weekend?
Well, I'm supposed to be going to speak with wedding photographers on this weekend. So let's see how that goes.
Ooh. You're not hiring Zach's wife? Zach's wife? She's great.
I have
Zach's
to go with
wife.
the vendors that are supported by the venue that we're working with.
Oh, all right. Hadi, what are you doing this weekend?
He's spending time with ChatGPT.
Why do you have another chair in your living room? You're telling me her office is also there with you?
It most certainly is. Yes, I'll be going to our city office a little bit more now.
Oh, you got a roomie.
Yeah,
For anyone who
yeah.
listened, Hadi got married. I will be catching up on work this weekend because I did not do a lot this week because I was a little bit out. With that, thank you all for listening. I really appreciate you all. See you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Why do you say bye
Bye.
like that?
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Bye.
Bye.
That's how I say bye. That's how I say bye.
Bye.
Do I come to your house and tell you how to live your life? How do you say bye? How do you say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Ciao. Buongiorno.
Ciao.
Back to
Ciao.
my roots, beats of the broken hearted. Wake up, alarm is on. It's just getting started for the artist. No trolley, I get it right from the source. Corporate Marciano, heavyweight with